Thanks very much, Steve. Well, we're going to go for some questions first from the public and then from the media. First, we go to Penny. Can we go to Kate from Woking? Sorry, I've got to read that. Sorry, forgive me, please. Ian Watson from the BBC. Ian. I think you need to unmute Ian. Can we get Ian's audio? I can kind of lip read, but I think we're going to need to. I'm so sorry, Ian. Can we come back to you? I think we'll go to Robert Peston at ITV. We'll come back to you, I promise. If we sort out your audio, we'll come back to you.
Hello.
Robert.
Hello, Prime Minister. Hello, Professor Paris. Good to see you both. The simple agreed facts in this case are that Dominic Cummings, in a prima facie sense, breached three. Hello, can you not hear me?
No, we can hear you well. Keep going.
Oh, sorry. That's all. Technology's working so well. As I say, the agreed facts are really simple. Dominic Cummings, your aide, in a prima facie sense, breached three of the lockdown rules. He left the house when somebody he was living with had coronavirus symptoms. He was in a confined space with that person, in this case a car, for several hours, and he went to a second home. I just want to be clear, Prime Minister, in saying that he behaved honourably, did the right thing by, trying to put in place childcare arrangements. Are you saying that if somebody is in the same position as Dominic Cummings and has the same childcare concerns, they are completely at liberty to do precisely what he did? Yes, no, not sure. And secondly,
he found those needs where they could best be served, best be delivered, and yes, that did involve travel. But I have to say, I think that looking at the situation, I think any father, any parent would frankly understand what he did, and I certainly do. And I spent a long time talking to him. Is Ian back? I think Ian. No, sorry, thank you. We'll come to Ian as soon as we can. We'll go to Gary Gibbon of Channel 4, please.
Thank you, Prime Minister. I'm a bit puzzled. You've had this long chat with Dominic Cummings. You said he went where he could get childcare. I thought he's now saying he didn't receive any childcare, but did all the childcare himself. You say he drove up the road when he was about to be incapacitated. He didn't know that. He couldn't know that. Could he? And you say, more alarmingly, really, you say he was following instincts. The rest of the country was following rules, not instincts. Are we now all entitled to follow instincts? Where will that leave it when a tracer goes round to someone and says, you have COVID, I need you to isolate?
Well, Gary, as I've said just now, the guy with reality, and as far as I can see, he stuck to the rules, and he acted legally and responsibly, and with the sole objective of avoiding such contact as would spread the virus.
He got the virus probably in the train, in the car, didn't he?
Well, his objective was to stop the spread of the virus, and he behaved in such a way as to do that. Can we have Charlie Cooper? No, we're going to go back. Sorry. Thanks, Gary. We're going to go back to Ian Watson of the BBC.
Okay, Prime Minister, can you hear me now?
I can, yes.
Excellent. So for better or worse, I haven't entirely been silenced.
No.
Did you approve that trip? And can I also ask another question? Just
yes.
Did Dominic Cummings make a trip to Barnard Castle in April when he was isolating, or at least was based, in Durham?
Right. Well, Ian, what
saying, Prime Minister, that this defence that Dominic Cummings behaved responsibly, many of their constituents are angry about
Yes,
that.
well,
because
let
it
me just say...
as though they were
Yes.
irresponsible in not breaching guidelines and going somewhere close, perhaps to their family during this lockdown, and they feel insulted by that. So what would you like to say to their constituents? Because that's where the postbag is coming in.
Of course,
their
and
constituents
I understand that. I understand
put
that.
out at that kind of language.
I understand that, and thank you.
Prime Minister, you say that Mr. Cummings had no alternative, but what is your definition of no alternative in this context? And it's a really important question because there's a question of the ongoing advice to the public here. Is it now government advice that if you have symptoms but are concerned about childcare, have no alternative, in your words, you don't necessarily have to stay at home, but you can travel to another home, maybe in a nicer part of the country, if you're lucky enough to have access to one? Is that the new advice?
The advice remains unchanged, Charlie, and that is that if you have symptoms, then you should self-isolate for 14 days, and that's what Mr. Cummings and his family did.
If the advice remains unchanged, can you explain how Mr. Cummings' actions are not in breach of the advice?
Sorry, can we go? Because the advice makes it absolutely clear that if you have particular childcare issues, then that is a factor that has to be taken into account.
An Oxford doctor who works in intensive care in the city had coronavirus in March, had a 4-month-old baby at home, but he said he followed the guidance, which he saw as incredibly clear, and stayed in lockdown throughout. If the government guidance included the exemption that Mr. Cummings used, why did so many people in Oxfordshire and beyond seem completely unaware of it and at great cost to themselves and their loved ones?
They're in the same position. Mr. Cummings did isolate for 14 days or more, and the circumstances of his isolation, his self-isolation, were determined by the difficult childcare position that he found himself in, and I understand that, and I think that many other people do. Thank you very much, everybody, for tuning in this evening. Thank you for watching. I think we'll be back again tomorrow. Thank you.